Hello everyone, under that cover is the new Dacia Spring. I don't know how new it is for 2024, but in this video I'm gonna show you all the informations and all the details I can get from this presentation organized by Renault Group in Paris. This video is brought to you by L-Drive, EV charging network. So here you have it, the new Dacia Spring. You can also call it the Petite Duster or Little Duster because the design is inspired by Duster. Also in the front, on the side of the vehicle and also the rear of the vehicle looks more like a crossover SUV than a small city car. The dimensions are the same. I mean, the car is basically the same car as before, the same battery, the same characteristics for charging, for example, but now has vehicle-to-load technology. The Dacia Renault officials claim that you can make 2,200 coffees using energy from this port, using the V2L technology, V2L adapter. But the biggest surprise is the interior, because the car now has some features, some characteristics that are somehow unexpected. This screen is standard for all versions, and this one here, it's only for the top versions, and the other ones are using the concept so-called bring your own device. So you don't have a tablet here, but you just bring your phone and put it there in place. And you also have a USB-C in the rear, in the back of the phone to charge it. On the top of this multimedia system, you can find three buttons. One is for turning it on or off, and the volume control is here if you don't want to use, for example, the satellite in the back of the steering wheel. This graphic can be changed as you wish, because you have some themes that you can choose from. And another new thing in the interior is this panel that you can use to set the climate functions. All the buttons are pushed down, you cannot lift them. All the buttons are very sensitive to touch, easily accessible, and this panel reminds me of an automatic climate control, but it's not automatic. You can rotate the knobs to adjust the temperature and the fan speed, but you don't have like an electronic display for the desired temperature. Basically here you have the temperature indicator, colder or hotter, but you don't have the degrees indication. And the gear shifter is now moved in this part here. You have drive and B mode and reverse if you press this one, if you move this forward. The thing is that the Spring didn't have B mode before. This is a new thing for Dacia Spring. Before this D and B mode, you had the energy recovery function only using the brake pedal at Dacia Spring. Now you have this B mode that can blend the feedback that you have from the pedal and also the energy recovery mode using B mode. So in many situations B mode will be enough, but for a full stop you'll need to also press the brake, because the car doesn't stop. It is not a one pedal drive mode. Anyway, very clean and nice design, very good ergonomics. Here you can open the windows, the side windows, you can see. Okay, and you can also activate the eco mode to have reduced power and different mapping for the accelerator pedal if you want to drive more efficiently. The car is proposed in two motor variants, electric motor using lithium-ion batteries, but the base version of the Spring is 45 PS and the top spec version is 65 PS. On the screen you have a clear indication about the car's range at about 80% battery. It's 164 kilometers of range with 77% of battery charge, and yeah, this brings us in the area of 200 or more than 200 kilometers with a full battery. That also is confirmed by WLTP. Like in the new Duster, you have this mounting points, the U-clip system that you can use to attach different holders for your phone, for example, or a bag. This is a new thing from Dacia. There is also a new clip here. You can put a light. This is an LED light with it that is attachable and detachable. You have this open glove box concept, but you also have the closed glove box concept below the opened one. So you have like two glove boxes, one is open, one is closed, and you have a U-clip here to put this light if you want. In the car, the storage spaces are quite optimized to offer very good storage space, including the doors and this area here, also below the handbrake lever. The handbrake, it's a classical one with a lever, not an EPB, electronic parking brake. A different Spring here with different color and different wheel design. This car is offered with 14-inch wheels and 15-inch wheels and different plastic cover designs. All of them are steel wheels with plastic covers for decorative purposes. The interior of this car, it's quite different in terms of styling. It looks, the seats are different, they look different, but obviously the same joyful style that the Spring implements. Let's hear some door closing sound. Looks like very robust, sounds very good to me. In the front and in the back, yeah, they close really good, and the sound is also good. Let's check the trunk space too. It is quite big for such a small car, to be honest. It's a bit above 300 liters, and now you also have a frunk, because Dacia took some inspiration from the Spring community, and they believe that it's a good idea to have a frunk option too. There is no way to grab the hatch from the inside, so you just have to put it like this, the hand, and leave some marks in this area. There is no other option. I would have appreciated if Dacia considered like a handle or something like a strap to pull the hatch. Let's also take a look at the multimedia system on this car to see if it's fast or not. This is the charging menu. Oh, this is energy flow, but obviously the car is standing now. But what I can observe is that it has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, both wireless. You don't need a cable for that. And the speed of displaying stuff on this car, it's really good. I want to see if it has some navigation or something, but I guess it doesn't. To see how fast loads the map navigation. This is it. Okay, so no, for the navigation I think I need to connect the device. Okay, but anyway, the speed is good. And the quality of the display itself, it's really high resolution and easy to reach. I mean, it's totally surprising for a car in this price range. At this moment, I don't know the price of this car, but all I can say is that Dacia will start the deliveries of the new Spring in the summer. So, new Spring in the summer of 2024, and the orders, in order to have the cars delivered in the summer, the orders will be taken by the manufacturer in the spring of 2024. So new spring in 2024, new spring as a time of the year, and new spring as a vehicle. This part here is inspired by European cities, and here we have the cover for the hook. You have written the variant of the model. So this is the 65 horsepower version, Dacia Spring SEV. I don't know what this means, SEV, but anyway, this is the extreme version. But as you can see on the more affordable variants, this part here remains all black. If you are curious to see also the electric motor of the Spring, this is it, the 65 horsepower variant of the motor. Obviously this is a mock-up, it won't be that nice on the car, it's so shiny, but here you have it, the electric motor and the reduction gear on the right side, and also here you have a glimpse about the 26.8 kilowatt-hour battery. It's not that big as I was thinking. It's quite compact. It looks like more like an combustion engine reservoir for diesel or for petrol. But yeah, this is the technology today. You have the battery in the back of the car, under the seats, the rear seat here, you can see, and the electric motor in the front. So the battery, it's not in the body, integrated in the body, in the floor of the car. It's rather under the rear seat. I want to leave you now on the hands of Dacia specialists to find out information directly from them.
I'm Xiaoyan, Communication Director for Dacia Spring. Very pleased to welcome you here. So, as you know, in 2021, Dacia Spring took the opportunities of an existing model to launch Spring. And 3 years later, over the world, we have already sold more than 140,000 cars, with 2023 as a record year, exactly more than 61,803 Spring sold over the world, representing 26.4% increase compared with 2022. And the Spring is the third best-selling electric vehicle in Europe. And like you know, so over 3 years, we have never stopped improving Spring, and here are some key milestones. Official launch in autumn 2021, and just 1 year later, introduction of new brand identity, and less 1 year ago, so we have introduced also 65 horsepower engine and with extreme trim level. And today is time for the new Spring. Like you know, compared to other Dacia products, the lightweight philosophy is in the heart of the Spring product content. Spring is a car with less 1 ton and also a battery with 190 kilogram. That makes Spring the latest model among the top 20 electric vehicles in Europe. Let's continue with some figures. So Spring is connected thanks to its connectivity and also the information that our customer wants to share with us. We noticed that in the average, our customer drive 37 kilometer per day, with the average speed 37 kilometers per hour. And generally, 75% of our customers recharge Spring domestically. And this shows that the Spring's content proposal is totally in tune with our customers' expectations. Another three figures very representative. First one, 93% of Spring customer is the first electric vehicle buyer. That means that Spring plays a real role to democratize the access to electric mobility. Second figure, 79% of Spring customers haven't Dacia car before, so Spring plays a real role to boost Dacia new customer conquest. And finally, our customer drive four drives per day, so that means also that Spring play perfectly a role of a commuting car. And even very often both as a second car in the household, Spring is used as the first car. Spring helps also to replace used car and helps also to lower the average age of the car on circulation. So that's some general information I want to share with you. And now let me hand over to Jorge to share some information regarding design with you. And of course, the best moment you are waiting for.
Hello everybody, good afternoon. I'm Jorge Diaz. I'm responsible for color and material design in Dacia. And today I have the big pleasure of introducing you all to the old New Spring. So with this, some key information right now. So we have already in Dacia a great vehicle that was very versatile and agile in city, and as well robust. This is something that we wanted to the DNA of this vehicle. Same with this, we had a vehicle that had a great proportion already, both for its exterior, but of course for its habitability. Now, what was the biggest challenge for us? Making this vehicle go to the newest generation of Dacia to match the new portfolio and brand image. So with this, I will say that let's look at the vehicle and so with those challenges in mind, I will say our design teams, both in Bucharest and in Paris, did a great job with this vehicle. We see that we have implemented the main key assets that make Dacia nowadays a Dacia. So we keep our charging point in the front, signed by the link, very proudly standing in the front. This followed by a blacked out band that runs across the front face of the car, finished by the headlight signature, the Y. These will also be replicated in the back with some slightly twists. So the Y will be flipped inwards, and we're going to have a nice texture that's been added to this area. Besides that, we have worked the protection elements around the Dacia Spring. We bring still the 360 protections in molded polypropylene around the car, but with that we have added contrast bumpers that have, in this case, the Extreme Series, a graphic inspired by European cities. These, of course, thought of for bumper-to-bumper drive, very common of this type of environment. Let's talk now a little bit around the side vehicle and about what has changed. So we have, of course, redefined the side of the car and its character lines to be most aligned to the new graphics of our brand. So very, very reminiscent of what was done for the Duster. With that, we have added still protection elements to the doors with these very, very robust stickers. And then an introduction for first in spring. We have added to the top range vehicles 15-inch wheels. So these, in this case, will be finished by this blacked out wheel, characteristic of extreme lines. But of course, there'll be an offer in Expression series. And then, of course, for entry-level vehicles, we'll still have the offer of 14. Let's talk a little bit about what have we done on the strategy behind the body color palette. We had the opportunity to develop not only one, but 2 new body colors for this line, making a total of 6 colors available in the palette. The first one being brick red, that we have today in this extra. But of course, there is a second color that we call beige safari. Beige safari complements the palette very nicely, where we have kept lichen khaki, which is an iconic color for Dacia, as well as stonewash blue, color that we have previously launched in spring and has very good acceptance through our customers. We still keep the base of the palette with our kaolin white and a silver, making sure that we have a broad and colorful offer for all of our customers. Let's talk about the interior. We had the opportunity to redesign the IP of the new Spring. This allows us to bring extra storage space in the passenger area, and of course an excuse to identify the key functional elements of the vehicle, being the storage, as just mentioned, then the cluster, the door storage, and then something new for Dacia, and it's the cube in the center that holds the gear shifter. We had as well the opportunity to play and offer a little bit more of color in the interior of the suburban vehicle, starting with entry levels in gray alto, the center, followed then by a satin version of brick red, and then at the top of the range you're going to have a lichen khaki, also in a satin version, aligned with the Cooper elements that run across the. When we talk about the upholstery, here we have on screen 2 of the top range vehicles, being the Extreme and the Expression. Both you have on site today, you'll be able to review them first. So, on the Extreme, what makes an Extreme part of the series is the possibility to have materials a little bit more robust. So what we did is add this contrast stream with khaki depth at the top, followed by still some depth in the lower areas to have that extra robustness that we need in the series. And then as well in the Expression series, maintaining that, let's say, shoulder up trim where we would like to see that contrast in this light fabric, then followed by a very interesting speckled fabric all across the rest of the seat. Both seats will be stamped and embossed with the very emblematic Dacia link in the shoulder, standing very proud. Some extra few elements. We have updated our steering wheel. More details to come with Mihai product. But we have also added a 7-inch digital cluster. And as well, we offer at the top of the range a 10.1-inch screen at the center, which you may already recall from the old new Duster. With this, was very pleased to give you this short introduction on design. We are available for questions.
And as a bonus, I also want to show you the V2L function. Who wants a coffee? Who would like to have a V2L coffee? Here you have the storage box under the hood, the frame, and here you have the V2L. Alors, the V2L, the front is an accessory. I present it to you as an accessory, but this is not an accessory. This is a standard equipment on the Extreme version. Okay? Then the customer will find it stored in the boot with the tire repair kit. Then it's very simple to use. You just have to plug it on the electric plug of the vehicle, like that. You press this button. When it's green, you can have electricity delivered. And the plug here is like at home. It's a domestic plug. 220 volt. It's even powerful than a standard domestic plug because it delivers 16 ampere, more than 3 kilowatts. Who wants a coffee? Thank you very much, my dear. Who wants a coffee?
I want.
You want? Okay. Hop. Alors. I commit that will work. It's Dacia, but I'm not sure about this one. It's not Dacia. Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. Hop. We press the button. We wait a little bit for heating. In the meantime, if you want to have a look at the U-clip accessory, here you have the 3-in-1. The hook and the lamp can be detached. And you have on the new spring three attachment points, U-clip attachment points. Alors, voilà. Please.
Your first spring coffee.
Your first spring coffee. Who wanted one? No? No, it's okay. Telephone holder. This is induction charge.
And where is the energy taken from?
It will be taken from there.
Ah, okay, okay.
With the cable.
Okay, okay.
I am pleased to welcome you to this decarbonization workshop, where we will have a focus on the Dacia brand and, of course, specifically on the new Spring. Based on the Paris Climate Agreement and the Renaulution Plan, Renault Group has committed to reach carbon neutrality within Europe by 2040 as a first step and by 2050 in the rest of the world. To reach such an ambitious target, we need to introduce electric vehicles in our lineup, but not only, we must work on all cars, even ICE ones, and especially on their life cycle assessment and on all stages going from conception to their end of life and recycling phases. Let's see how we will do that. First, regarding conception. The Dacia mobility approach is based on the frugal use of resources. So, regarding this conception, we stay focused on what we call essentiality. As you know, essentiality means that we give the Dacia customers what they really need, nothing superfluous, and so it enables us to design cars that are lighter than competition. With this, the new Dacia Spring remains below 1 ton, exactly 984 kilos. This is a very, very light car. Another aspect of conception is aerodynamics, because it participates to the global performance of the car. So, even though we build some robust and outdoor cars, we paid particular attention to all aerodynamic details. For example, this little drop we can see here on the rear deflector made us win some points of SCX and to maintain a very low level of consumption. And talking about consumption, the energy management is also something that was really well managed on the first generation of Spring, with less than 14.6 kilowatt per hour and per 100 kilometer. And with this new generation of Spring, we keep this very low electric consumption thanks to the combination of very efficient engines and the battery management system. But that is not all. To go further, we also select carefully all materials. For example, we choose not to have decorative chrome on the car because we know that chrome is something very polluting when manufactured. We also made the choice to have no leather inside the car, no animal leather, and to reduce paper to a minimum thanks to a digital user manual that the customers will have. With this digital user manual, they will be able to scan some parts of the car with their smartphone and to access directly the chapters regarding this scan on the user manual. And by the way, this avoids a truck transport between the printer and the factory every day just for paper user manuals. So this also saves some CO2 at the end. But we know that the most important phase of greenhouse gas emission for a car is not the production, it's the use. And so the use phase is what we can see on this chart here with the red and orange arrows. All the challenge for Dacia is to reduce its carbon footprint while remaining affordable, because this affordability is a key identifier of the brand. So for this, we have several technological bricks available and that are represented on this chart. Our first electrification level is our new 48-volt mild hybrid engine that will be available on all new Duster, and that comes along with our existing and efficient EcoG 100, which is a bi-fuel LPG gasoline engine. On top of those engines, we also have a full hybrid engine, the Hybrid 140, that exists on Jogger, and that is clearly already a success on this model, with more than 30% of sales made on this only engine. So all those three engines represent a solution that enables us to reduce carbon footprint by 10 to 15%, but this is clearly not enough. We do need electric car, but an affordable one like New Spring. When we take a look at New Spring specifically, we can notice that it has not a carbon footprint equal to 0, of course. During the manufacturing phase, because of the manufacturing of the battery, the CO2 generated is a bit higher than the others, but because there is zero emission at the tailpipe, this completely offsets this part, and at the end, on the whole life cycle of the car, we generate almost 60% less carbon footprint than the others. So you clearly can see that New Spring is the strongest contributor to this decarbonization strategy. Now, if we take a look at the virtuous circle that we have with Spring. With the first generation of Spring, we collected some data coming from the use of our customers. Of course, nothing personal in the data, only usage data, but we noticed that in average, our customers drive only 37 kilometers per day, and 90% of them even never drove more than 70 kilometers in a single day. So all this led us to the conclusion that there was no need to increase the size of the battery because its 26.8 kilowatt per hour was largely sufficient for most of our customers. And so who says sufficient battery, no change in engines, no change in consumption that is really low, and this is all a virtuous circle. We also kept the same compact and lightweight platform, and so this enabled us to have fewer use of raw material and fewer CO2 emissions for the conception and the manufacturing of this car. Also, with New Spring, we only increased the weight of the car by 6 kilos, despite the addition of new equipment and ADAS, and this is clearly an achievement. The current Spring is awarded by Green NCAP the best in class of Europe regarding the life cycle assessment, and we do believe that the New Spring will get such good results when it will be analyzed by Green NCAP. And I would like to share with you a few, to go with you on the website of Green NCAP. Green NCAP is an independent organization made of some auto clubs and public institutions, and they measure the carbon footprint of cars sold in Europe. They have already tested more than 120 vehicles in the last 4 years, including more than 20 electric vehicles. For this, their methodology is publicly announced on their website, based on public data, and on a 16 years and 240,000 kilometers full cycle for the life of the car. They distribute stars ranging from 1 to 5, and of course, the cars that get 5 stars are the best performers of their category. So if we go to the Green NCAP website, to the LCA results section, we can go through a small filter menu to display the results. And on the first column, you will have, here you have the list of the 20 electric cars tested. You have here their carbon footprint measured in tons of CO2 equivalent. If we now stick to the cars with an award, there are only 5, and Dacia Spring is the one with the lowest carbon footprint, only 21 tons of CO2 equivalent. And this is a good achievement, even better that it is in fact 20% less than the second one in this ranking. So New Spring will have quite these kind of good results, we are sure about it, and it is really the best performer car in Europe for this. You can have in other websites such as the Swiss Touring Club other figures. They also make some life cycle assessments, but the conclusion will be the same in fact. Whatever the website, whatever the classification, generally Spring is showed as being the best performer in Europe regarding this life cycle assessment. All this to tell you that Dacia brand, of course, make huge efforts to reduce its carbon footprint, and of course, New Spring has a key role to play in it. Thank you for your attention, and I remain at your disposal if you have some questions.
So it's not the all-new Dacia Spring because it's not a new generation, but it is a facelifted version of the most affordable EV in Europe. That's all from my side about the new Dacia Spring, European car, but made in China, fully made in China, but with the purpose of being sold in Europe. Already quite a big success, 140,000 units sold till now, and it looks like Dacia wants to give a solid boost to this car in terms of improvement, new ADAS system, new design inside and outside, to give this car basically a new life. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you like what I'm doing, and till the next time, bye bye.